In this video, let's demonstrate how to sort and filter data in a pivot table. Start off, we'll create a pivot table. I already have a table, so we'll go Insert. I just start with the blank pivot table. This is my data, new worksheet, hit OK. So just for demonstration purposes, let's put the office in the rows. Maybe we'll put the wages as the values. And we'll just start out simple. If you want to sort this information, you can hit this drop down and we can sort right here, A to Z or Z to A. And the same thing with the wages. Maybe you want to make this the largest to the smallest. So you can right click on this, sort, and make it largest to smallest. Or you can always go to the data ribbon and hit A to Z or Z to A. On either of these columns, you could do that. So if I want to get alphabetical, I do it right there. So now, when things get a little trickier, what if I were to add the department to the rows area? So now I have each office and all of the departments there. So in some respects, it's the same. If I want to sort on boss on these labels, I can click on that label and then hit Z to A, and it'll put them so Boston's at the bottom. If you click on this label, though, it's going to sort it within the category of office. So now when I'll go reverse, Z to A. It did it within, so we didn't change San Francisco, Denver, Dallas, but within those, we did change these values. And the same thing would be true over here. If I were to sort on this, I want to see which department has the highest salary. I'll do it Z to A. It will do it within each category. Just for fun, I am going to go ahead under design and put this under, is it tabular form? So that looks like that. Now, this is going to be interesting. What if I want to see the office with the highest sum of wages? As I've already mentioned, if I click in here and sort, it's just going to sort within the office. But I want to see the office with the highest wages at the top. Here's how you can do that. So you can either right click or hit this drop down arrow, and we are going to more sort options. If I hit A to Z or Z to A, it's just going to do an alphabetical sort on the office. But if I go to more sort options, I do have a choice of ascending or descending, but I can do it based off of another column. So in this case, sum of wages. So I'm going to have the lowest office first in terms of total wages, and then it'll go up from there. So let's hit OK. So Chicago has 889. What happened here? Did I go the opposite way? Oh, I went descending. Yeah, I was thinking backwards. So Chicago's 889, 752, 735, 719. So how did I do that? Let's do it one more time. I will select this more sort options, and I went descending, so highest to lowest by sum of wages. And I can do the same thing by department. So within Chicago, I want to sort the department not alphabetical. If I wanted it alphabetical, I could just come here and go A to Z. But I want to see the department with the highest wages within Chicago. So same idea, I click here, go more sort options, and again, descending based off of sum of wages. So when I hit OK, I left Chicago alone, but now these numbers are highest to lowest. And notice this one has sales all the way down to customer support. The sales IT, and this one's sales R&D. So the departments vary, but it's all based off the sum of wages column. If we were to add a second thing to values, so let me go ahead and put the eval score, and we are going to right click on that and we'll summarize it as an average, and we'll right click and make the number format number with 2 decimals, hit OK. Anyway, the point being, so now I have eval scores, an average of the eval score. I want to sort my offices depending on how well the employees are evaluated in that office. It would be the same thing, more sort options, but now you have 2 columns here, the sum of the wages or the average of the eval score. So I hit OK, and the Denver office has the highest average evaluation. The Dallas is next lowest, all the way down to San Francisco. Another point, I'm going to take off the average of the V-Val scores. Let's move the department to the columns just to point out that you can also sort across. So now if I want to sort the department simply alphabetically, we'll just go ahead and do it A to Z. So now it went ahead and sorted across the columns like that. And I find this a little weird, but I can sort this column from largest to smallest, and it will actually change the department values. So if I right click and hit sort, and I go to more sort options, notice it says sort by value, okay, and it has a choice of left to right, and I'll just go ahead and make it largest to smallest. Now if you pay attention, these are alphabetical order. When I get done, they will not be in alphabetical order because we've simply sorted on one row, San Francisco. And so now we have kind of a random order in our departments, but this is largest to smallest for that one row. So I think that pretty well covers sorting. I'm going to move department back to the rows area. We just have one value column, sum of wages. Now let's talk about filtering because it's very similar. If I hit this drop down arrow and I just don't want to see the San Francisco office, you can turn it off. And of course you can see the filter icon right there. Same thing with department. Although this is interesting, of course, if I take off accounting, it's going to take it off for every department. So there's not an accounting in any of the different offices right there. So that's simple enough. So of course, if I want to clear those filters, I can just clear filter from office, hit here, clear the filter from department. Now, what if I want to see all the departments whose sum of wages is greater than some value? So this gets a little bit similar to the sorting. I can drop down here and notice I have label filters. I want to just get rid of everything that begins with an A. So if I just type an A here, we got, I'm going to see everything that begins with A. We got accounting and administration. That's simple enough. But we also have value filters. And now it has an equal, does not equal, the top 10. Let's take a look at that. So top, I'm going to go 3 items. And now I only have one value field, so that's what's here. If I had the evaluations, the average of the evaluations, I'd have 2, but we just have the 1. So I want to see the top 3 items based off of the sum of wages. And by the way, this is on the department filter. So we hit OK. And now I'm seeing the top 3 departments out of each office. And it's not always the same, obviously. Accounting, R&D, sales, finance, IT, sales. But these are the highest 3 salaries, or some of the salaries, wages across those departments. You could do the same thing. We'll clear that for the office. So I go to filter, there's a label filter, and then there's the value filter. So one more time, top 10, let's make it 3. You could do percent, and then we only have one value field. And so now I have 1, 2, 3 offices displayed. And these will be the ones with the highest 3 salaries. So I think that pretty much covers filtering and sorting in pivot tables. In the next one, we'll talk about inserting slicers, which gives us another way to filter our data, but a little more visual.